Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee. It is exactly 1 week after I installed 2 nukes to start 2 new hives. One with semi-disastrous results. I dropped the queen out of this hive as I was putting her in. She dropped down into the grass behind, then flew up onto the inner lid, which was back here, and then flew up towards the front of the hive. So I'm thinking, hoping, praying that she's made it back in the hive. There's a decent amount of activity happening there. It's not a great day today. It's kind of an overcast sky. Cold front came through after about 8 days of glorious sunshine. So when I installed these 2 nukes, they ended up having, you know, a solid week of beautiful bee weather, right? So that was a really good sign. They should be doing well in there. I'm going to go through this hive and do a complete inspection to look for and find the queen and make sure she made it back in there. They did have lots of eggs. They had a couple of supersedure cells happening already. So worst case scenario, they should be making their own queen. Looking over at this hive here, less activity, but about what you would expect for day 7 of a new hive in bad conditions. So let's open them up and have a look. The other thing I want to do over on this hive is to change that bottom board, because the bottom board on the hive is all destroyed by raccoons. So we'll get that. We'll basically move that hive box onto this hive first, then do the inspection, or I don't know, maybe I'll do it the other way around depending on how I feel once I get into it. I'll get the smoker going, and thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee. Okay, so the first thing I did was move them off the old bottom box. You can see I did a patch job here with the old bottom box because it had a big hole in it. So just gonna look down here and see if I see the queen by chance. All I'm gonna do is move the old bottom box out to the front of the hive anyway, so they'll still be able to get in. Okay, I don't see her there. Okay, that's a good spot. Now let's get to work on trying to find that queen. Check on the lid first off, make sure the queen's not there. These seem like very docile bees and easily behaved bees. See, they've got lots of pollen. They're bringing in lots of pollen. It's not a great day for beekeeping. Being that it's overcast and slightly on the cool side, there's not as much foraging as what would normally happen. And bees they get easily uppity on days like this. So I'm going to try and go easy on them. I will smoke them a little bit and just see how it goes. Mission to find the queen. Okay, so you can see how much of the pollen patty they've eaten here. An okay amount, not a ton, but enough. You can see the main cluster right now is right around here. So that might be a place that you can find the queen. Let's look on the inner lid here and make sure she's not here. Good number of bees though. I'm happy with the number of bees in this hive, that's for sure. It seemed that this nuke, of the 2 that I installed, this one had more bees than the other. And I'm not good at spotting the queen. I'm the first to admit that. What I try and do though is try to look for a certain type of movement. The queen moves through the colony. The colony makes way for her at the same time as it tends to her. And so that's more or less what I'm looking for as the first identifier as to where the queen is. Okay, now these outside 3 frames that I put in were just honey, so I'll probably just get them out of the way. This is a very handy contraption. I mean, you can buy a million bee contraptions, but this is a good one, especially depending on the kind of space you have around your hive, because you can just set it up on the side of your hive here and set down your extra frames there. It keeps them nice and close, and it means you're not putting them on the ground. So here's a nice honey frame. And they shouldn't be doing much to this frame other than taking or moving stores as they need them. Take a look. Certainly no queen on here. Wouldn't expect her to be out here, but you never know. Very quiet, well-behaved, tranquil hive. I don't even hear them buzzing. It's incredible. May they always remain like this. May I always treat them in a way that they will remain like this. I'm going to just move the camera a bit here so that you can see. Oops. There. I'll try and make it so that you're seeing what I'm seeing here. Another honey frame, and they're just busy being bees around this frame. If there's a bit of a cluster of bees, I'm just going to blow on them to get them to move a little bit, just so that I make sure they're not clustering up on the queen. Because I really want to find her the easy way and know that she's still alive. Just trying not to bother these bees at all, because you can see I've barely smoked them and they're not excitable at all. They're in great shape. Let's see if I can pick this up without squishing a wee little bee. Okay, that's good. Okay, this could be a prime hive where the queen, or a prime frame where the queen could be, because there's lots of room for egg laying. Let's see what they've brought into this frame. Well, there's a couple drones. Yeah, they're just filling this one up with nectar and some pollen. Let's see the other side. Yeah, lots of nectar going in on this side. Not too much else. Looking for the queen. No joy. Now this should be a big brood frame, and it is chock-a-block full of brood and bees. It is just jammed. If you want to watch beekeeping videos to watch bees, this is going to be the perfect frame that you want to see. Check it out. Hopefully I can treat them nicely. Look at that. Look at that brood frame. Just full of bees waiting to be hatched and bees taking care of them, keeping them warm, making sure the food is in the right place. Just being bees. Look at the size of that thing there. That's got to be a drone. I'm looking right here at that big drone. Wow. As a young beekeeper, as an early beekeeper, you sometimes mistake drones for the queen until you get good at spotting the queen. Drones have they're huge, but they have a very rounded body, whereas the queen has a pointy body. And once you learn the difference, you don't really make the mistake all that frequently. Look at this side here. Just chock packed with brood. That's beautiful. Let's see if I can spot the queen here. No queen here. How did I put this one? I took this one out this way, right? Hope so. From here on in, because I've got 3 frames in the holder there, I'll just keep these frames inside the hive. Bodes better as well in case you do have the queen on one of these next few frames, which is where I would expect to find her. That way you're not taking her out of the hive and dropping her like I did last time. Well, I don't think I actually dropped her. I think she actually made a jump for it and flew away, but still. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is a frame that has hatched out brood, so she could be in here dropping some new eggs. Lots of activity up here by my right hand. So I'm looking for the queen particularly up here. Oh, I don't see her. Let's try the other side. Now there's one of the supersedure cells that I saw last time. You see it right here? That is the cell that they will make in order to replace a queen. And if I had seen a healthy queen in here, I could destroy that cell just so that they don't swarm. But in this case, of course, because the queen dropped and I haven't seen her and they are tending to that cell, I'm going to leave it alone and not do anything to it. No queen there that I saw, but it's a very light frame, so that's one of the frame where brood hatched out just in the last few days. Next frame is very, very heavy with bees and thick with bees, and again, kind of where the biggest concentration of bees is, so there's a nice chance the queen might be there. Just trying to reach in here without actually grabbing a bee. Move on, buddy. Move on. Okay, there we go. So this is a frame where it started to hatch out from the center out. You can see how there's still brood on the outside. It's ready to hatch any minute. And the brood on the inside has hatched out just in the last day or two. So you could see the queen back on here starting to lay, or not. You can see another supersedure cell here, right down here. Hasn't really developed at all since the last time I saw it a week ago. Weather's kind of getting iffy. It's kind of getting dark, and we might be in for a thunderstorm here, so I might have to cut this one short. Had a 90-degree change in the wind here, and it's picked up a bit, and they're darkening skies heading our way, so you could have some weather to contend with here very shortly. Brood here in the middle of hatching as well, another supersedure cell there that is being tended to. And kind of a supersedure cell being started here. So it's very likely that this hive is queenless. The queen never made it back in. I don't see any new laying. I don't see the queen. And they are working on these supersedure cells. The one thing that has been favorable as far as there being a queen in here is that these bees are really calm. When a hive loses a queen, it gets pretty agitated pretty easily. You always get a good roar when you open a hive that's queenless. So more older supersedure cells here. You see this one right here. Yeah, here's an almost finished supersedure cell right here. Check it out. See this? This wasn't there last week when I put them in. There's a cell that's broken, that's had something come out of, but look at that cell. It's complete and it's ready to rock and roll. So there's a very good likelihood that they're going to hatch a queen here shortly. So I'm not going to worry about this hive. I'm going to let it keep doing what it's doing. It is incredibly well mannered. It has a lot of resources. There's a good number of bees here to be able to protect themselves and manage the hive, so I'm not concerned about it. I'm going to check one more frame and that's it. Close it up. Whew. Dropped a lot of bees along the sidewall there. Here's a nectar frame. Now this frame would be absolutely perfect for the queen to be laying in, you see? But there ain't nothing happening here. Yeah, nothing going on. Doesn't look like there's a queen in this hive, but they're on their way to fixing it, so I'm going to let them continue to do their bee thing, and that's it. We'll check out the next hive.